Hello everyone, good morning or good afternoon. I'm Antara and thank you for joining in to yet another session where we discuss with authors and people from literary field. If you have been following our social media profile lately, you might have seen or come across our this month's lineup announcement. And this month our lineup is extremely special and unique. This month we decided to celebrate and honor power, resilience, perseverance, and courage. So each Sunday of this month, we will be having a heart-to-heart discussion with a female author who is trying to present a story of courageous women, um, a woman who could not have been stopped, a woman who finally realized her potential, broke all the shackles and came out of the negative situation that she was going through, either maybe in her personal life or maybe through the stories that they are trying to talk about. So yes, so this month we will, it's very special, and I hope you have seen our lineup announcement. We will be speaking to 5 authors, as I have already said, female authors, brilliant authors, and similarly we will try to keep our next month lineup as special as possible. But to be very honest, I'm so grateful, and I really want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for all the best wishes, for all the support that you have been showering on my secret bookshelf. Maybe by just leaving a comment on our social media profiles or by purchasing books from our online bookstore. Like, it has been incredible, and I really want to thank you. So now, coming back to our today's special session, so we will be talking to someone. So let me introduce our guest for today. She is a pathologist. She is a personal growth empowerment coach. She is a trainer, and she has recently made a debut as a published author. Her name is Dr. Urmi Thaker, and the book that she has launched recently is called Tales of Unstoppable Women. And it has been published by Lidberg Publishers, and we will talk to her about all that she has been through, her journey, her decisions, her all those things, nitty-gritty about the book. But before that, I would like to talk to a blogger who has read her book, and I would like to know the blogger's feedback on this book. So just hold on for a second. I'm going to ask the blogger to join me right now. So just give me a moment. I'll invite the blogger to join. Waiting for the blogger to join us. Very young blogger. And here is she. Yay! Hi, Laxmi. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. So, good afternoon.
Am I
This is
audible?
Laxmi. I'm from.
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Just a moment. It's my fault. Just a moment. Oops. Yes, Lakshmi, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes, I can hear you as well. It's my mistake, and my phone is showing up. So I hope we are fine now. Oops. we had an oops moment. So yes, Lakshmi, how have you been?
Yeah, I'm doing good. So now let's get started.
Yes, sure. So you are from Chennai, if I am not mistaken.
Yeah, I'm currently in Chennai. So
Okay, all right.
what I think
So yes, Lakshmi, tell. Yes. Please tell me.
this book is really inspiring. It has seven short stories, and I feel that we can derive some values from each of the short story. And everything was present in a detailed manner. And we know we women have to face so many difficulties in our everyday, day-to-day life. And the most important part is to face our society. So this book actually proves us the way to tackle our problem, and I cherished reading those motivational stories of the inspiring women. And these stories can actually rebuild or transform our lives as well as we can read. Uh, so it is a wonderful collection of seven short stories, and the struggles of women were explained beautifully in this book.
Okay, great, Lakshmi. Thank you so much for sharing your view on this book, and thank you for taking time out and joining me today. Thank you for reading this book. It's very good to see such a young reader, a blogger. You blog a lot, and I think. Would you like to share your handle name, your profile name? It's
Profile name?
your Instagram profile name so that people can follow
Yeah,
you, maybe.
Little Girl Reads is my Instagram handle.
Yes. So Little Girl Reads is her profile, and I really thank you for joining and sharing the details. And you did a good job, Lakshmi. So thank you. And I will like to invite the author now. So for that, we have to say goodbye to you, and maybe we'll talk soon sometime.
Yeah, thank you.
So that's Lakshmi, a young reader from Chennai, and she has read. It's um, good to see a young reader, a young woman read this book. Like I was not expecting someone that young to read this book because um, whatever reasons, I shouldn't be judging. So yes, so coming back to our guest for today, she is Dr. Urmi Thakker, a pathologist, and she is also a personal growth empowerment coach, a trainer, and she has recently debuted with her anthology called Tales of Unstoppable Women. As Lakshmi said, it's a collection of 7 stories. Each story talks about a woman showing courage, showing acceptance, or understanding their potential. So, yes, so without wasting any more time, I'm going to invite the guest to join me now. And then we are going to talk a lot with her. So yes, I'm waiting for Dr. Urmi to join.
Hi.
I hope I am audible. You can hear me,
Yes,
right?
you
Clearly?
are. Can
Yes.
you
So
hear
thank
me?
you. Yes, I can hear you clearly. So thank you, Urmi, for joining and
Thank you for
taking time
inviting
out.
me.
It's
Thank
really
you.
lovely to see you.
Same here.
So
So, no,
we spoke. Yes, please. I'm sorry, I'm cutting you
no,
off.
continue. Yes.
So we just spoke to a blogger from Chennai, very young blogger, Lakshmi, and
Come on.
she had some lovely things to say about your book. And it was so inspiring to hear that such young female actually reading and like she could absorb the meaning, and she was saying that these are very inspiring stories and everything. So I felt really good about that. So I wanted to ask you, like, you are a pathologist by profession, and you do like life coaching and training, and then you suddenly decided to write this book, which is on these strong women characters. So what was all this, like what led you to come up with this idea to get published?
Yes, so thank you very much for the introduction, and thank you, Lakshmi, for the amazing review. Like it just gave me goosebumps. I had never expected such a young girl to read that book, and it is so amazing the kind of response the book is receiving. So thank you very much for having me on this platform, and thank you to all the readers who have switched on and who will be seeing this interview and taking their precious time out to listen to me. So a little bit about me. First of all, I would like to share how did I become a pathologist and then the other journey.
Okay.
So
All right.
I come from a very small town. It's a very small town, Bhusawal, born and brought up there. And when I was a very young, like maybe 8 or 9 years old, I used to read these books like You Can Win by Shiv Khera, and I was intrigued by such books. But it was not taken nicely. I was teased upon and I was mocked upon because that's not the age, or tu ye sab kya kar rahi hai? You're supposed to read comics and something. And that's why I stopped reading that. And at that time, there was no self-help industry as such. There was no personal growth industry. So it was a very confusing space. And somewhere I had this feeling that there is something wrong with me if I'm reading such books. So I stopped reading them. I stopped sharing about it. And as every person feels, I wanted my parents to be proud of me. I wanted to make them happy. And the short way was to study. बच्चे पढ़ते हैं तो माँ बाप खुश हो जाते हैं. So I really
शर्मा जी के बेटे से अच्छे नंबर्स आ गए.
नहीं कंपैरिजन नहीं, बट बस तू पढ़ाई कर तो बस मम्मी पापा खुश हो जाएंगे. So I really wanted them to be proud of me, and that's how I pushed myself hard to study. I was good at extracurricular activities, but during my 10th and 12th, I pushed everything aside. Dancing, wancing, सब छोड़ दिया, and I was focusing only on studies. And by God's grace, I landed up becoming a doctor. So everything was going good, but when I was doing my MBBS, I was introduced to yoga, meditation, spirituality, and that was the time when we were practicing pranayams and meditation, and that was helping us a lot. First our students, and then we started volunteering for seminars and conducting seminars, and that was something that I really loved, but I did not know why I loved it so much. And then I again, because medical is such a demanding profession, I continued with my post-graduation. Meanwhile, I got married, and I worked in best of the best corporate labs, best of the best hospitals. And in spite of taking a career of my choice, at the end of the day, I used to feel an emptiness within me, and I did not know why it was there. And the wake-up call came when I became a mother, and when I saw my baby, and that was the time when I got some time for myself, because I had a difficult pregnancy. So I had time to literally pause my life and think, who am I as a person? What do I love to do?
Right.
And that was the time when it dawned upon me that, I love this kind of work. I love, uplifting people around me. So I took a part-time job, and I took part-time training in NLP. I went to London. I got trained with Dr. Richard Bandler. I got trained in eutaptics and many other modalities. I got trained to become a coach. And while I was getting trained to become a coach and a speaker, I came across a community of women who are really doing an awesome work, and they had a very different kind of mindset. So I had certain set of friends or family, like cousins, who were brooding and gossiping and ki sab theek nahi chal raha hai. That was on one side, and on the other side there was this group, ki come what may, they are just going on. They had that certain zeal around them, and I was like, I need, these people should meet these people, and how to bring out that balance. They had such amazing stories to share, and then the question was, who will share them? So that's how I thought maybe I could try it, and I got a very nice mentor, and he really helped me. He really pushed me hard. No, you do it, and I started researching on the topic, and I started writing about it. I started talking to a lot of women. So I actually spoke to 54 women, and
wow.
Yeah, so I interviewed them, some officially, some unofficially. And the main stories, so the main reason why I interviewed them was when there was a time for me to join back to hospital, I was faced with lot of insecurities because 1.5 year I was away from the field, medical field, and I thought my career
Yes,
had,
yes.
moved
Right.
ahead with that career. New things, there were so many new updates and so many new things. Plus, I had a kid, so leaving that baby and going was another part. So there were
Right,
so
right.
many things
Exactly.
going on. So I thought, if I am having this problem, maybe everybody must be having this problem at
Right.
some point of time. So that started the research, and that's how I spoke to women who were on their career and they had a break due to any reason, maybe childbearing, maybe health reason, or whatever reason, and they
Whatever reason.
restarted their career. So how they dealt with it financially, how they dealt with socially, emotionally, what were the needs, and from them I chose few stories. So these stories are really very special. First of all, what happened when I used to talk to women, they used to share, like they used to answer all my questions, but the real stories used to come out when the camera was off. जब कैमरा बंद करते थे तो बोलते थे, अरे तुझे पता है ऐसे भी हुआ था वैसे भी हुआ था, लेकिन ये तो बताना मत था, ये तो बोलना मत. So there was so much of fear, and to protect that prestigious image that we create in the society, that people are not living their authentic life, they are not
Right,
even
right,
coming out
right.
what they are. So these women are those women who came out transparently. In and out, they shared their stories. They are ambitious. They went beyond their circumstances, that certain circumstances ki bas pause abhi iske aage kya hai. Because if you ask them that few years back, if you would have told them ki you're going to do this kind of work, they wouldn't have maybe thought, because they went through that dip, they went through that low phase, and they came out of it. They worked on themselves first, first on themselves, so they had to take responsibility for their life. And the best part is, today we see them as successful women. We see their career, we see their wealth, we see them as a role model, but we don't know from where they have
The
come.
struggle.
We don't know
Right.
what their
The
journey is
struggle that
about.
they have gone through. Right.
Yeah. And that is why writing this book was so important to me. And these stories are also very special because these women are contributing back to the society. They are not just uh, going ahead with their career. So like suppose Pradnya, she is doing a lot for women to own their houses too, so that they have their own houses. So Kushi, she is doing a lot for brides who are going through low self-worth, or that kind of stuff. So that is something unique that each of these stories have, that the struggles that they have faced through, they became successful, but today they are contributing on a larger scale to the society.
So each of these 7 stories, are they inspired from real life, or you have added any fictional element to it as well?
No, 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 no. They are
Completely.
completely real, and that was the biggest challenge that we faced.
So that's really wonderful to know about it. And what is more wonderful is that the women choosing to share their stories with you, because I'm
Yeah.
sure there are many obligations and there would have been many, thoughts about going on, like as you mentioned, that whether I should share my story or not. I have also worked in corporate field, and I myself have seen pregnant ladies, pregnant women, employees been asked to leave. They were asked to resign. I have seen myself, like women rejoining, like they might have completed 6 years and then they took a break and then they're coming back for work, and their experience was considered to be null and void, which
Yeah.
I think is very unfair. So I have seen this kind of, and these are MNCs that I'm talking about, and not any
Yes.
Indian companies. So I think it's very important to have an outside support group like you are mentioning about. And I think that is what you are trying to do, uplift women who are facing this kind of situations. So it's really wonderful. I would
Thank you.
also like to know that you have already mentioned that you have already researched and you did on camera or off camera interviews with your maybe your characters, your subjects. But was there any particular subject or any particular story that you would like to share that might have gone into the research mode? Like you went for a research, like you went to meet someone and something happened, like something interesting or some funny story
Funny,
about it.
funny story.
Or
So
something that's interesting. Not funny, but something interesting maybe.
something interesting. Yeah. So I don't know. Somehow a lot of mother stories are coming up. So I'll just share one story that she is a businesswoman and she has a business of window blinds and her business is all over the country. And so she has two sons and she's an engineer, and from engineering she went into business. So she started a business when her elder son was around 5 years old, and I was like, he was still small and the younger one must be two. And I said, how uh, are you managing, how did you manage to run around? And because when you start, when it's a job, it's at least fixed times,
Right.
but when it's business, it is your baby, you have to put in, and then you cannot constrict itself कि मैं इतने से इतने काम करूंगी फिर मैं नहीं करूंगी. So entrepreneurs have different challenges, and people who do jobs, they have different challenges. So I asked her, how did you manage with your son? Because she said, there were times when I was at my office and my son had a fall. There were times when, he needed me and I could not be there. And I said, did you feel guilty that you were not there? And, she gave me a reply that I was going through a struggling phase myself, and I allowed my kids to struggle with me, and that's how they became more independent. And that was like, I said, Ganta baj gaye, I had never thought of it, because we are so protective of our kids, कि उसको कुछ लग ना जाए, उसको कुछ ये ना हो. We are so perfectionist mothers. I don't know if you are or not, but the new generation is like, कि सब चाहिए बच्चे को, best का best देना है. But we don't allow our kids to struggle. We don't allow our kids to go through their mistakes. And that was a very wake-up call for me. अच्छा ऐसे भी होता है.
So I'm not sure if I'm going to agree to this kind of situations, because I feel like parents are providers, but I think she might be coming from a different perspective or something she might have had.
Yeah.
And so, okay, that is fair enough. But I think, as you had mentioned, that you have gone through so many training sessions. You are a certified coach. So if anyone wants to reach out to you, any women or anyone going through any phase, how do they do that? Like, how do they reach out?
Yes, so they can reach out to me through Instagram. I am Coach Dr. Urmi, or you can reach out to me on my Facebook, or I am just launched I'll be launching my website. It is ready. It is urmithakker.com. So there is a complete form you can fill out and reach out to me, and your identity will not be revealed. There are confidentialities, and you can directly contact me as well through that. So this reminds me of one story that, when the book was released, there were very the kind of response that I got was very unexpected. And every day, I was getting messages from unknown people, unknown women, men, women both, that how this book has impacted them. And I had this friend who was in my school, so I just knew her. She was not even in my class, and she reached out to me saying she was going through a personal problem and relationship issues, and she's a very highly educated, highly felicitated, great achiever, but she was going through that low phase. And she called me and she reached out and she said, your book has given me that hope to keep going. And right now I'm actually taking sessions with her, and she's really, really improving a lot with what she was like. it was so disheartening to see such a smart and such a strong girl going through that
Right.
breakdown. So there are moments when there are moments when there are low phase, there are moments when you actually break down, but it's also important to get up and get going through those low
Right.
phases. You cannot
I
keep there in a small moment. Yes.
That's very true, and I have always seen that the people, like, no gender here, but then people who have been able to come out of the darkness are the people who always had a support system to fall back, either
Yes.
maybe in the form of a family, parents, friends. So it's very important to understand that you cannot be independent, like one man show kind of a thing, because we are human beings and we are social animals. And few days back also I was having this discussion with someone that Zoom calls, like whether offices should only be work from home, classes should be like that. But then we thought that we will miss having the personal touch, right? So I think we are social animals and we need that support system to fall back. And everyone goes through that phase, but then people like you, people like professional coach, or people who are aware of what needs to be offered, I think we need more people like you. And thank you for all the good work that you are doing.
Yes, and I really want to express my gratitude towards the publisher, that is Litbook
Right,
Publication.
right. I was
Because,
coming to that also.
yes,
So
so
your book is not yet, it's an ebook right now. Paperback has not been published, right?
so
So,
I have one. Yeah,
so by when do you plan to launch the paperback? So that we
that's
can have the book listed on our online bookstore.
definitely. I'm looking forward to that. Actually, it was supposed to be launched on 20th March, but
Okay.
the corona and lockdown happened and the print
Yes, 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 yes.
were closed. So that's why we thought we'll go ahead with ebook. And ebook has been doing really well. And since now the lockdown has opened, I'm in touch with the publisher and in the printing team that we get it as soon as possible. So I had got just one copy for proofreading. So this
Yes.
is my book.
And
And
it's lovely. The cover is so adequate and it looks really good. It's very
thank
gorgeous
you.
and it speaks
The cover
volumes.
is inspired by my mother. I just thought that every lady should be able to relate to it instead of having something very creative. It was just a simple cover where you can actually relate to that woman, that this is my story. I know what she is going through. So
And this
that's
women means business. Like you see, and you will see that this
this.
women means business. Like she is no nonsense person and she is just caring about her work, like daily work. So yes, it's like perfect. Suits this suits the title of the book and the essence of the book. So that's a really good job. And
One
you
more.
would like to say something about the publishing house as well, your experience with them, or like
Definitely. It has been a roller coaster ride, and
I
I drove
know.
them.
Yes, selecting a publishing house, I think, is the biggest challenge that an author faces.
Yes.
And so, yes, I would like to know your experience.
I spoke to many publishers, but with Lidberg, with Sarang Mahajan, I actually could connect with him, and he actually understood what my concept was, and they gave in 100%. Like not just him, but the whole team, because the project was halted, literally halted in March, and then for 10-15 days, and it restarted before the ebook was launched. So the whole team was working day and night, and it was so nice to see the whole team, not just that one person, but the whole team. They were coordinating, and there were so many revisions, and especially anthology, because we were very, very careful that the right words were used, the right message was given, no offensive words were used, or it should not be gone in the negative way. It was very clear that the story is about the women. So that was the most challenging part, and that is why it needed lot of revisions, lot of edits, lot of proofreads, and so much of work has gone, like, is there behind the scenes, and I had no idea about anything of this. It's the editor, it's the publisher who, the editor who beautified my language, and the publisher who actually guided me, this should be done this way. And one more important thing is that I did not want it to be just another storybook where, people come, read the stories and go back. So I wanted it that they take away something from those stories and they integrate it in their lives. So that is why we added questions in that. So after every story, there are questions who will, the questions which will make you ponder, which will, start your
introspect, or you will think about it, right?
Yeah, it may not shift your life completely, but give that just one twist, one angle to look at things in a different way.
Yes, right. So I also felt the warmth between you and the publishing house. So I want to know whether this is a traditionally published or a self-published book. I would like to know
that. It is traditionally, like the Lidberg publication, they have done the complete work, the cover page, everything they have done it. So they are
and it's really great to know that a publishing house putting so much of effort behind a book, right? Because you have written it out of your passion. You each author puts their passion, like it's a work of passion, right? And then when the publisher understands that and realizes that, and provides their hard work behind it, I think that's brilliant. And it's very rare that we come across such publishing houses these days.
Yeah.
I'm sure you will also agree, because you might have done your research and everything. And while we were talking over the phone, there was one sentence that you had said addressing to the publisher, and I could feel the warmth behind your relationship, and I could feel that how well you the author and the publishing house are bonded, which is very important, and it's not just business like. And I know Sarang Mahajan, and he himself is a published author, but I'm not sure if I'm supposed to talk about him. But so I think he is a wonderful person to guide you, because he himself knows what all it takes to make a bestseller. So wonderful, and I really hope that your book does good, and the association that you have with the publishing house, Lidberg Publishers, flourishes, and you bring out many more books that we get to read. So yes. So moving to our next question, maybe. Or like, as I said, many books. Like, are you planning to publish any other book? Like, I know this is recently published, maybe a month back, but are you planning to write anything, or are you writing anything? Any other projects that you're working on?
I'm working on one more project, and this work led to that project. So what happened was, when readers were contacting me, and they were sharing their reviews, most of them with women. First, I would like to talk about women. So what happened was, in the conversation, I realized that while women are so much driven towards achievement and success, and earning money and career, there is something that is getting lost, because the essence of a woman is being the nurturer, being creative side of her, the intuitive side of her, and emotional side of her. And when, especially in corporates, when we see that side is completely suppressed, and what happens because of that is they feel a lot of disconnection with their own self. They feel that emptiness, they feel that unhappiness, and they don't even feel connected to their own body. And that is something which was very striking, and that will be a part of my next venture, where you actually connect with your emotions in a healthy way, you connect with yourself in a healthy way, more so with women, because right now I am working with them, but later on maybe with men also. But that is the first thing, to learn to balance your emotions in a healthy way, and it definitely has a link with your health as well. Health, immunity,
Right,
definitely.
Right.
You know that. So that is the next thing that I would like to go ahead with.
Right. I think I agree with you, because I have seen the corporate life very closely because I was working for almost 11, 12 years. And I have seen that we women expressing our emotions or our attachments are considered as a form of or as a sign of weakness. Like if
Yes.
we are
Yeah.
talking about taking care of our babies or taking care of our parents or maybe our partners, so it's considered as a sign of weakness. Also, like uh, like no one would say that like okay, let her go early because she has a family to take care of, but then I think that's really unfair. Everyone, as you mentioned, it's one of nurturing. The essence of nurturing is a very important part of women, and we should all be mindful about that. And not only that, there are so many other health issues that women, like maybe menstruation. Like every month, women are going through this thing, this hormonal disbalance happening
Chaos.
every like. Yes, and I don't think, like I myself have seen that corporates would not understand what a woman is going through during those periods and during those time, and they would like, if you need to go somewhere, then you have to go, doesn't matter. So it's very important to have, and these are MNCs that I'm talking about. So I think it's time to for us to know what we deserve as women. It's time for us to realize when and how to stand up for our rights. It can be any right, any constitutional right, or our physical demand. And I think people like you, coach like you, who are learned, who are certified, are going to be very helpful in this thing. I would also like to say that I think each corporate house need to have a counselor or a coach, and so that people can, women can turn up with their concerns or their issues time to time. So
And
yes, it was lovely talking to you, Urmi. As I had said, I am a very talkative person. I hope I have not spoken, I have not taken the limelight from you today. Is there anything else you would like to say, you would like to talk about today?
I would like to share my mission and my vision. My mission is to help at least 10,000 women in next 2 years to embrace their life and live a happier and better quality of life. And my
Absolutely.
vision and my like this is one to one, and my vision on a large scale is to create a community where we judge less and grow and support each other more.
Right. And I want to say something, if you allow me, when you
Yes,
just mentioned about judging less, I think it's women who judge the other women more. Because I had a chance to talk with an acid attack victim a few months back, and she was sharing that the body shaming came from women. Like she was shamed by women more rather than men. So I think it's very important for us to realize that we need to be a community, a strong community, and help each other grow, rather than pulling the other person down, other women down. And it's very heartbreaking. But then, yes, I have also been subject of body shaping from other
exactly.
women colleagues. So I feel that I know how it feels, and I might have, it might have helped me if I had someone like you to guide me during those times. But then, um, I had a better support system. Maybe my parents and my family was supportive, so I could come out of that. But then I think every woman goes through this.
Yeah, and I think we women go through it, but we are not taught these things. We're not taught in schools how to deal with it, and that is what I am working on. Like I have identified 10 points, and body shaming is the first point, and next is self-worth, self-value, because we attach self-value to so many other things. So these are the things that we have never taught how to deal with, and they impact each and every aspect of our life. So
Yes,
I
and
really,
right.
yeah.
And as I said, I think it's only when we will have a strong support system to fall back on, only then we will be able to. I don't know whether you have any other mantras for this, but then I have always felt that uh, like all this social, like all this whatever you call the body shaming or the judgments, people judging you just because like
I,
uh,
I was judged कि तू ये छोड़ के क्या कर रही है, you lab कर ये कर ये कर, why are you writing up, what is the need, क्या जरूरत है. I was judged so much, so harshly. And you know, when I receive these comments, I'm like, yeah, it is worth it. When I see people like Lakshmi, you know, she's
right.
at such young age.
Yes, so like I am 37, I'll be 38, and I'm not get married, not because I'm not getting a match, but because I have my own values. Like I'm looking for the right person. I don't want to compromise. So yes, I'm getting judged like every time, but just because I think my support system is very strong, so I have been able to hold my earth very strongly. So the society judges, but then
And
I think the women judges women more, and we being women and realizing and being on the other side of the spectrum, I think we need to empower and let those women pull out and make them understand how to help each other and how to better each other rather than pulling the other person down.
And actually, seeing you, I remembered one more thing that, of course, support system is very, very important. At the same time, it is also important to realize your own inner strength. You know, to
Right,
stand strong on your feet and on your ground. That this
right,
is my
right,
ability, this is my authentic self, this is who I
right.
am, the person, and
Yes,
it is not possible for me to mold and fold in the opinions and judgment of others. So I see that in you as well, and I want every woman to get in touch with that inner strength. You know, you can, everybody can,
right.
and there are so many support systems now that are available, which our earlier generation did not have.
Yes, yes, yes. Because I have also, I think I would have done much better if I had someone like even like 1% of what I am right now. So I try to help young women. I try to guide them as much as possible. I really like to interact with young people. I I work with a lot of young people, and I enjoy working with them, and I try to guide them and let them know that it's okay if you, even after doing engineering, if you think of becoming a teacher, so it's okay if you want to change your field. It's okay. So so I think I really liked talking to you because I connected, and I think our your vision is something that I would like to follow as well. And I really wish you, and I want you to have all the power to fulfill your vision of empowering women, 10,000 women by the end of the year, and so many other things that you had mentioned. So I give you more power. I'll pray to God that you get all the strength and
Thank and
keep doing the good work, and hope that we will speak very soon again when your
definitely.
paperback is launched and we have it listed on our website.
Thank you so
And
much. Yeah,
yes, so
I
I
look
think
forward.
yes, and
Yeah.
we'll speak again. And thank you for taking out time from your. I know you are uh, a busy family person. You are also trying to do your work. You are doing your other projects. So thank you for taking out time and talking to me. I'm going to share this session on our uh,
Okay.
IGTV. I'm sorry, and then on our YouTube channel. So I'm sure whoever watches will be beneficial. And I'll also share uh, the website that you had shared, your website's name, on our story, so that whoever wants to reach out to you, they can reach out. And that's it. So thank you, Urmi. It was
Thank
lovely
you
talking to
so much for this amazing, amazing platform for me to reach out to other women. And thank you for this Instagram and live and everything. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Urmi. Take care. Bye.
Sure. Bye-bye.
So we spoke to Urmi. That was Urmi. And we are almost wrapping up. Before we wrap up, I would like to say, if you have not yet visited our online bookstore, which is www.mysecretbookshelf.co.in, then it is high time that you should visit. We have fabulously discount offers going on right now. Even there are many influencers who are sharing their discount codes every day, almost every day, for 20% discounts. So you can use those codes and make your purchases. Each copy that we have listed comes with great discounts. Like, I can guarantee the price will be lower than your favorite e-commerce website. And secondly, you can request for personalized notes from the authors, so the authors can send you notes, and those will be scanned. So I'll take printout and send them with your purchase, with your parcels. So you will get notes from the authors. Most of the books are signed, so you will be purchasing a signed copy at a very reasonable price. Not only that, we are also willing to gift wrap the books. So if you want to gift someone a very good book, then just let me know. I'll get them wrapped and send them across. Like, whatever wish you have, just email it to me so that I can get it fulfilled. Like, I have also sent out personalized notes to a birthday girl, so I'm willing to do that. And that's it. So do go through our website and just make us happy. If you place some orders, we'll be really glad. So thank you everyone for joining us today. We spoke to Urmi, and we also spoke to one of the bloggers, Laxmi. Next Sunday, we will be having our late evening session, which will be hosted by Parul, and we will have an international author joining us. So do join us at 9 p.m. on 14. So thank you everyone. Take care. Have a lovely Sunday.